getting my 20 minutes of sun, and there's talk around about my Jazzy Life. Well, actually, it's coming from her. Talking about wanting some more children. And I just wanted to give you my point of view, which of course nobody asked for, but I just wanted to just put my input. Okay. Also, proof that I'm not a hater. I'm not, I literally don't hate her. I'm just giving my opinions on a person that is in the public eye, like everybody else. It doesn't have to be about race or color or anything like that, because I specifically don't remember. And believe it or not, her people come and they ask me what a white girl wants. What's in my business? What Jazzy does. Well, I don't remember anybody asking me the color of my skin when I donated to her many times. I've donated to a lot of people in the sector whenever they have registries. Um, Yanni too. I sent her Pampers. I buy clothes from the registry. For Jasmine, I've sent her Pampers many times before. I just I just send it. I just would buy stuff from her thing, from her registries and stuff like that, like gifts for the kids. It's been a while since I've donated to her, but I have in the past, and I don't ever remember anybody asking me what the color of my skin was or what business was it of mine donating. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I've donated to a lot of people, reactors, um, Blama. I've sent her cash apps because when she would she would do the music and stuff like that. I've sent to other reactors as well. Strong Mommy Chrissy. So I've put in some money. I've invested in this sector, okay, and I've been a silent watcher this whole time. But I just wanted to share my opinions, because I'm from the hood too. Just because I'm quote unquote white doesn't mean I don't know what it is, you know. Anyways, so honestly, am I against her having some more children? Honestly, it's none of my business how many children she has. That's her life, her body. I actually don't. I'm against women tying their tubes at such a young age, because you never know. I've known a lot of people that I went to school with and stuff like that, and they once after they had several kids, like they tied their tubes and they were still in their 20s. I I never tied my tubes. I've just never had any more children. I only gave birth to one child, and I adopted my son, who's 8 years old. He's my baby, and so I'm kind of against tying your tubes, and let me explain why. Because Jazzy doesn't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. The person you're in a relationship now might not be who you're in a relationship with later on in life. And what if you get the baby blues in your late 30s or your early 40s and you want a baby, and you've tied your tubes? Like, what are you going to do? The way you think in your 20s isn't the way you think in your 40s and 50s or whatever. Well, not like, I don't know if you can have kids in your 50s. And I know people in my family have had children in their 40s, so that I can speak on. But so I'm as long as you can afford it, which from what she says out of her own mouth, she can't afford it. I wouldn't do it if I were her, but it's her body. If she wants to have 10 more children, I can't say anything about it. I wouldn't think it would be a wise decision, but she's going to do what she wants to do. Oh, there's roadkill right here. And I'm not I just don't see what the problem is of just wrapping it up. Birth control, taking care of yourself instead of just letting anybody you know, shoot up the club. You know what I mean? That's why I'm very selective on who I'm intimate with, because and I've been able to avoid pregnancy this long, and it hasn't happened to me. And I have a fully functioning bakery, and everything. So I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with just taking care of yourself. I mean, to me, it's kind of like laziness. Like, you just want people just to be able to. And this is just my opinion. I don't know. This is just what an outsider looking in thinks. Okay, um, you just want somebody to shoot up the club whenever they want with no repercussions. Okay, there's nothing wrong with. There's so many different types of contraceptives right now. Like, you don't have to go to extent to have an operation. You know what I mean? So, But like I said, the way you think when you're older, I mean, when you're younger, isn't the way you think. And what if you meet a guy, and this actually happened to somebody I know. They had four kids, three kids, with their, you know, whoever they were with at a younger age, right? Whoever they married and, did all that stuff with. And then later on, she met this guy that was, he was in prison for like 30 years. He did like 30 years and he's like, born again Christian and everything like that. So when he came out, he didn't have any kids and she couldn't give him any children. So he never had any kids, but he accepted her kids as, they accepted each other. Like he accepted her kids as his, like a blended family, like you're supposed to. And but he was never able to have a child, and he always wanted a child, but she had her tubes tied. But he still loved her. He stayed with her. You know what I mean? So I mean, and she regretted it. She told me she's like, I regret tying my tubes. But back then, I thought I was gonna stay with my husband, and I didn't know he was gonna end up cheating on me, or whatever. And then now, this guy who I love so much, I love like she just didn't believe that she was worth meeting anybody worthwhile later in her older years, and she regrets it. She regrets it all the time that she can't give him a child. And but they still love each other. They're still going strong. They're getting married. So that's just my opinion. You might think otherwise, and that's fine. We can all agree to disagree and still get along, okay? But anyways, that's my input. I feel if she wants to have more children, but can't be begging people on the internet for money. Like you had to be financially set, okay? And it is possible to get off of government assistance. Me myself used to be on food stamps. I used to get Medicaid. I used to get everything. I used to be on housing at one point. I used to be on all that stuff, and I enjoyed. Oh, did I enjoy it? I enjoyed those food stamps when I used to get them. Those were the days. And now I don't have food stamps, but I mean, and I was thinking, because I was on food stamps for like 10 years, and I was like, how am I going to do it with no food stamps? Because, once you make a certain amount, you don't qualify for it anymore, right? Man, I was scared, but you know what? I've been doing it for what? Let's see. My daughter was in middle school when I got off of food stamps, and she's graduating from college, and she's still in my house, eating up everything, eating me out of house and home. I only have two kids, but they eat a lot. It may not look like it, but they do. They eat a lot, and they're kind of picky too. So, but it is doable. It is a safety blanket, and trust me, your money will go a lot further for bills if you're on food stamps. But I'm not judging anybody that has food stamps. Girl, live it up, because I know I thoroughly enjoyed myself while I was on food stamps. Anyways, I'll let y'all go. Bye.